Moonlight's prom as the silver moon hung low over the forest canopy, casting long shadows through the ancient pines. Sarah Chen pressed her back against the rough bark of an oak tree, her breath coming in small, visible puffs in the cool night air. The scent of pine needles and damp earth filled her nostrils as she listened carefully for any sound of pursuit. 3 days had passed since she discovered the truth. 3 days since her world crumbled like autumn leaves beneath her feet. The memory still burned in her chest walking into the pack house early that morning, expecting to find her mate Marcus preparing for their bonding ceremony, only to overhear him laughing with his beta about how useful her father's territory would be once they were mated. "She's so trusting," Marcus had said, his voice carrying that cruel edge she'd never noticed before. "Once we're bonded, her father's land becomes pack property. The silver mines alone will make us the richest pack in 3 states." Sarah had stood frozen in the hallway, her heart shattering into 1,000 pieces. The man she'd loved since childhood, the one she'd dreamed of spending her life with, had never truly wanted her at all. She was just a means to an end, a key to unlock her family's wealth and territory. Now, as she made her way deeper into the neutral territory between pack lands, Sarah felt the familiar ache of her wolf stirring beneath her skin. Luna, her inner wolf, had been restless since their escape, sensing the danger that still followed them. The bond between a Luna and her wolf was sacred, something that couldn't be bought or sold or used as a bargaining chip. The forest floor was soft beneath her bare feet. She'd left everything behind: her shoes, her belongings, even the silver necklace her grandmother had given her. All that mattered now was putting distance between herself and the pack that had betrayed her trust. A branch snapped somewhere behind her, and Sarah's heart leaped into her throat. She pressed herself closer to the tree, trying to become one with the shadows. Her enhanced hearing picked up the sound of careful footsteps moving through the underbrush. Someone was following her trail. "I know you're out here, Sarah." The voice that called out was unfamiliar, deep and gentle. "I'm not here to hurt you." Sarah remained silent, every muscle in her body tense and ready to run. She'd learned not to trust easily, especially not strange men who appeared in the woods at night. "My name is Daniel," the voice continued, closer now. "I saw what happened at the pack meeting 3 nights ago. I know why you ran." The pack meeting. Sarah's blood ran cold. Had Marcus already announced their betrayal to the other packs? Was she now a fugitive with a price on her head? "Please," Daniel said, and something in his tone made Sarah look around the tree trunk. A tall figure stood in a patch of moonlight about 20 feet away. He had dark hair and was holding his hands up in a gesture of peace. "I have something that belongs to you," in his outstretched palm. Sarah could see the glint of silver. Her grandmother's necklace, the one she'd left behind in her haste to escape. The one that had been passed down through 5 generations of Luna women. "How did you get that?" she whispered, stepping partially out from behind the tree. Daniel's face was kind, with gentle brown eyes that seemed to hold no deception. "I work for the Council of Elders. We've been investigating Marcus's pack for months, following reports of forced matings and territory theft. When you ran, I retrieved your belongings before Marcus could destroy them." The Council of Elders. Sarah had heard stories of the ancient governing body that oversaw pack law, but she'd never met anyone who worked for them. They were like myths, powerful beings who only appeared when the gravest pack crimes were committed. "You're safe now," Daniel continued, taking a slow step forward. "We have evidence of Marcus's plans. The forced mating contract, the illegal territory agreements, all of it. He can't touch you anymore." Sarah felt her knees go weak with relief. For 3 days, she'd been running on pure adrenaline and fear, certain that Marcus would track her down and drag her back to complete the bonding ceremony. The thought that she might actually be free seemed too good to be true. "Why should I trust you?" she asked, though her voice lacked conviction. Something about Daniel felt different from the men in Marcus's pack. There was no hunger for power in his eyes, no calculating look as he assessed her worth. Daniel smiled softly and sat down on a fallen log, making himself less threatening. "Because 3 months ago, the same thing happened to my sister. Her mate tried to force a bonding ceremony to steal her inheritance. The council saved her. just like they're going to save you. The sincerity in his voice reached something deep inside Sarah's chest. Luna, her wolf, stirred with interest rather than fear for the first time in days. There was something about this man that felt like safety, like home. The council wants to offer you protection, Daniel continued, and a choice. You can return to your father's territory with a full escort and legal protection, or, he paused, looking suddenly uncertain. Or what? Sarah asked, stepping closer. Or you can come with me. The council has a sanctuary for displaced Luna wolves. It's a place where you can heal, where you can learn to trust again, where you can choose your own path forward. The offer hung in the air between them like a bridge spanning a great chasm. Sarah looked at the necklace still gleaming in Daniel's palm, a symbol of all the strong women who had come before her. Her grandmother had been a Luna too, mated too. Sarah's grandfather out of love, not politics. Would I be free to leave the sanctuary whenever I wanted? She asked, completely free. Daniel assured her, the choice would always be yours. Sarah took a deep breath, feeling the cool night air fill her lungs. For the first time in 3 days, the tight knot of fear in her chest began to loosen. She thought of Marcus, probably still searching for her, still believing he could force her into a life of servitude. She thought of her father, who had probably already started negotiations with other packs, seeing her as a commodity to be traded. But here was Daniel, offering her something she'd never had before. True choice, the sanctuary, she said quietly. Tell me more about it. Daniel's face lit up with a warm smile. He held out the necklace, and Sarah took it, their fingers brushing briefly. A spark of something passed between them. Not the force pull of an arranged mating, but something gentler and more natural. It's in the mountains, surrounded by silver pines and crystal streams, he said. There are about 20 Luna wolves there now, all healing from different betrayals. Some stay for months, some for years. Some never leave because they've found their true calling there. Sarah fastened the necklace around her throat, feeling her grandmother's strength flow through the silver chain. And you? Do you live there too? I'm the sanctuary's protector, Daniel said simply. It's my job to make sure no one can hurt any of you ever again. As they began walking together through the forest, Sarah felt something she hadn't experienced in years: hope. The moon continued its journey across the star-filled sky, casting silver light on the path ahead. Behind them, the territory of her old pack grew smaller and less significant with each step. Thank you, she said softly as they walked. Daniel glanced at her, his expression gentle. For what? For giving me back my choice, Sarah replied. For reminding me that I'm worth more than what I can give to someone else. The forest around them seemed to pulse with new life, as if the very trees were celebrating her freedom. Sarah's wolf, Luna, settled peacefully in her chest, no longer afraid or restless. For the first time in her life, Sarah Chen was walking toward a future she would choose for herself. And that future, bathed in moonlight and filled with possibility, looked beautiful.